Hi. So last week I stood out here and I made my video. It was a gorgeous day. It was really warm. And if you go back to my timeline, you'll see it, and you'll see that there was something incredibly different in the background when I did this. And that was that we had, hey Melody, we had a tree. And wait, hold on. Hold on. How do I do this? Here we go. See, that was the tree. That's not working. Hold on. We're going to do it this. There we go. Okay. See, this was our huge, gorgeous tree. It's a really, really big tree. I don't know if you can see like the height of these trees here in our yard. But as I stood here, there was actually this part that was kind of coming off. And I remember thinking like, what do you know? That could actually... Then, bad connection. Okay. And then it actually ended up falling Shabbos afternoon. We were sitting through those windows at our Shabbos lunch table, heard a huge crack, and the tree went down. Now, generally speaking, daily basis, I don't sit there thinking like, oh, thank God our tree didn't fall down today, right? Like there's so many things that could happen, that could potentially go wrong, that could be actually devastating. And we don't really think about them. We don't focus on them. We don't even necessarily express any kind of thoughts of gratitude towards what could happen that doesn't happen. And when this happened, the first thought was, thank God that tree didn't hit anyone, right? I literally stood here last week. If the tree had come this way towards me, it would have landed on me. And right in front of me is the house. There would have been really nowhere to run. I mean, maybe here to my side, but it could have been absolutely deadly. And yet this tree fell, and it fell the other direction, and it didn't hit anyone, and nobody was outside playing, and nobody was sitting in the yard. And we were all inside eating lunch, and it didn't hit our house, and it didn't hurt anyone else. And so after the fact, there was this incredible gratitude for, thank God we weren't hurt. Thank God nothing happened. And I'm bringing this up because this week we just celebrated Lag BaOmer, which in the counting of the Omer from Passover until the holiday of Shavuot, on Lag BaOmer, which is a big day of celebration, it corresponds to the concept of gratitude within gratitude, like the gratitude squared, the ultimate gratitude, recognizing that there are so many blessings and so many things that we should be cognizant of and should be grateful for, and we don't even realize it. You know, I think very often we get through the day and it's like, oh, what did you do today? Nothing. You know, how was today? Whatever, fine, nothing happened. Oh my gosh, do you know what a miracle that is? Nothing happened. You made it to work safely. There were no accidents on the road. You made it home safely. There were no health issues. There was no devastating news. You didn't find out that anything awful happened to anybody you love and care for. Everybody you know is fine. Nothing is the biggest blessing. It is amazing. And when we see what could be, when we see that, you know, I stood here last Friday and there was this enormous tree behind me, and a week later, there we go, tree toppled over and devastating situation, we have that gratitude. And this week's Torah portion is Behar, and it actually talks, the one part is gratitude about related to Lag BaOmer, and then we have the Torah portion that talks about really needing to have faith. And I think they go incredibly hand in hand, because the Torah portion discusses the sabbatical year, the Jubilee, and basically this idea that every 7th year, you're going to stop working, leave your land alone. The animals can come and take as they need. Other people can come and take as they need. It's ultimately not yours to begin with. We're given the gift of being allowed to work with it, being allowed to gain from it, and live off of it and make money from it. But ultimately it isn't ours. And we need to have that faith and recognition that it's bigger than us, you know, and on the microcosmic level, that's what we do every Shabbos, the 7th day. We stop, we rest, we stop creating, we let go, we recognize we're not the ultimate creator. And I think those go very hand in hand, to have gratitude and to have faith. And while I bring up this tree, which thank God is really not a big deal, I have to mention that there were these devastating fires in Israel this week. It's not clear if it was just due to the heat wave, if perhaps there was arson involved. I know they're in the middle of figuring this out, but we have a number of close friends on Moshav Modi'in, which is like a communal living of about 50 homes, I believe, that was started by Shlomo Carlebach, and the entire Moshav was destroyed. So many people now without homes, without anything. I posted about this earlier, but, you know, again, did any of us wake up this morning and go, thank God our house didn't burn down last night? No, and they probably didn't either that morning. And the next morning, they don't have homes, and every single thing in them were destroyed, and their cars and everything. And yet now it's relying on that faith. You know, I've got you covered. You have to trust that, you know, you put in your hard work. You did what you needed to do for those 6 years. On the seventh day, on the seventh year, you know, it's going to be okay. You have to have ultimately that faith, because there's nothing else really to rely on. So really just the message for the Shabbos is to have the gratitude for the blessings in our lives, the ones we see, the ones we know, and the ones we don't even think about, because we are so blessed to not even have them appear or present that it's easy to go by and not recognize what they are, right? Like, thank God no tree fell on any of you guys this week, or hit our home or anything else. And for all those who are struggling right now and who are dealing with this huge challenge and this enormous difficulty, to just have the faith that they're not alone, that, you know, the community is going to pull together, that we're going to help out one another however we can and whenever we need to, and that, you know, ultimately it's bigger, it's greater than us. We can't understand it a lot of the time, but we have to just believe and have the faith and have the trust that it's gonna work out the way it needs to. So with that, have a great Shabbos, and a healthy one and a safe one, and just think about all those blessings in your life and be grateful for them.